trust him as much as I can throw him. So, I mean, I don't believe anything that man says. After all, he wants to put us to Mars, don't forget, right? Yeah. And he launched the car in space, so, I mean...
I mean, logically, it makes sense as if the mainstream ideas are real, which I don't know. If they're real, then it does make sense where we're treating this planet, alleged. Then it does make sense that we should find somewhere else potentially that we could go just in case.
We can go destroy another one.
Yeah, we'll work our way through them.
What nonsense.
Maybe we can go to the other half of the Earth that they're keeping from us. How about that?
Maybe. From a business point of view, you can't blame him. If the whole of society chooses to believe nonsense, that's an untapped market. You might as well tap it if all you care about is money.
All I know is it sounds expensive.
It's a pipe dream, bro. They haven't even gotten to the moon. They want to go to Mars. It's a complete joke, bro. It's a complete joke.
It's entertainment, right?
He can't even stop a leak from his rocket. The latest, you heard the latest? He can't even stop a leak from happening on his rocket, and he wants to go to Mars?
Dude,
I mean,
what
who buys that?
You just stick your finger in it.
Put a piece of gum. Like, not even in a movie would you buy this, man. Not even in a movie.
Hey, they could have got one of those mice that likes to travel with them to space to cover the leak.
And you have people believing, oh, why would they put a camera at the end of the rocket and show it going from, let's say, let's use the word flat to round to a ball? Like, who would want to see that? They actually have people saying that, backing them up. So it's a complete Stockholm syndrome, bro. I mean, most people are Stockholm. Not only that, they fight. They fight for this. We have people here fighting for NASA. I mean, what else do you want to know?
It sounds like a legitimate question to me.
What's the answer?
Flat earthers. I mean, who else actually wants to see it go from flat to round, honestly? I don't think many people are actually interested.
That's incredible you say that, bro. Like, that boggles my mind. Like, you don't want to know the place you live on. It's like you're either Stockholmed or like I just can't understand your logic.
I just don't need that to know that the Earth is round. Like, the people that need that are the people clamoring for it.
Wouldn't you be curious to see that?
I don't have any doubts about it is the problem. Like, you're talking to me like you and I agree on the fundamentals of this issue, but we don't.
Okay, I agree. You have no doubts, right? But as a like when you watch, you know how lions work, right? You know that they eat gazelles, but you would watch a documentary on that, right? Or hyenas. Like, you're not in the least bit interested in the place where you live. Like, I find that astonishing, bro.
That's not the same thing, though. Doesn't mean that I'm not interested in it. I have these answers. As far as the lion and gazelle, yeah, I'll watch it if somebody films it, but I'm not going to stop believing in lions because nobody has yet.
How did you validate the answers?
What?
How did you validate the answers?
The same way anybody validates what they believe, just a confluence of various data.
I'm glad you understood it is only a belief, then, not actual knowledge.
Well, set of belief. If we're going to litigate that whole thing again.
No, but I mean, you for sure know that it's a belief and not actual knowledge.
No, knowledge is a subset of a belief. You can't.
You wouldn't have mentioned
belief.
You don't believe. You wouldn't have mentioned belief if it was a knowledge. You would have said, that's how I know it.
Knowledge is a justified true belief.
That's one definition.
Yeah, but he has an acceptance.
I know it's a globe. If that clears up any.
You accept it's a globe.
What do you know?
He said he knows it's a globe.
How do you know?
Because it's the only thing that makes sense.
So you don't know. You're accepting.
I do know.
You just said it's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. Considering the data, it doesn't work on a flat plane.
Yeah, that's a fallacy, right?
So how
It's
does a sphere hanging in nothing make sense?
what do you mean hanging?
How does it make sense?
It's not a ball on a string. It's not hanging.
So what is it?
It's a planet in space.
Right. So how does that make sense?
I don't understand the question even. Like,
You
what
said it
doesn't
makes
make
sense.
sense about that?
You said
Yeah.
it makes sense. So it is
Mhm.
what you just said. So how does it make sense?
I mean, I have to assume you asking that question, there's something about that that doesn't make sense to you
No, I'm asking you how it makes sense. So how does it
because
make
it
sense?
fits with observation.
How?
Because it doesn't contradict observation.
How?
Because the observations match. We could do this
How?
all day. What are you asking me? You got to clean that question up a little. I don't know what you're asking me.
By what mechanism does it do the things that you said it does?
Physics.
Okay, that's general. Do you want to specify?
The question is general. If you specify the question, I could specify the answer.
Pick an example of the things that you
Uh,
stated and then delineate clearly how, by what mechanism, it makes sense.
So the things I stated were that it makes sense with the data that the Earth would be round. So in line with that, the 1 degree per 69 miles works on a globe. It doesn't work on a flat. There's a specific example for you.
I'm hearing an assertion, but I'm not hearing a mechanism by which.
If you want to call that a mechanism, I guess it's just kind of a state of affairs.
No, I'm not
I'm,
calling it a mechanism. I'm saying that I'm not hearing the mechanism by which it makes sense. I'm just hearing an
I don't
assertion.
know what a mechanism would be that qualifies the making sense of something. Something makes sense via the mechanism of it not creating discord in my brain. Like that's the mechanism by which things make
Magnified
sense.
totem. The word he's after is gravity. That's what he wants to hear.
That's a
Not, ne-
stupid way to go about that.
not
Sure,
necessarily.
gravity. Let's all champion
Any,
Yeah,
that.
any
that's
what
Honestly,
believe.
I don't know what he's asking.
No, it doesn't
He
matter.
said it
Like
makes
you're the one.
sense.
Hold on. This is the thing, right? You're the one that says it makes sense. I'm asking you how.
Yeah,
I clarified
and I told you.
how actually makes sense, right? By what mechanism
Yeah,
does the claim happen? You're saying sense is being made of the thing, of a planet in space. By what mechanism is sense being made by the planet in space? And then you brought up some examples, but they were general. I'm asking you how those examples make sense and what's the mechanism by which they do that.
I think it's the mechanism thing. Like I can give you different reasons why it makes sense. I don't know that any of those would be mechanisms necessarily.
Demonstrate to me how
Hmm.
the examples you brought up, right? Don't assert to me because I'm sick of assertions. They're gay. Demonstrate to me how the claims surrounding the base claim make sense, or in other words, don't legitimately conflict with reality.
Um, so the further you go from the GP of a celestial object, the lower you're going to see that by some specific relationship to the distance. That relationship can only be made sense of if the ground you're standing on has a specific shape, and that specific shape can only be round or curved
So
in any
you're
specific direction
claiming
you're going.
mutual. So you're claiming mutual exclusivity with said observation to sphericity. Is that correct?
Yes, by any reasonable metric, yes.
Can you demonstrate mutual exclusivity?
Yes, you can map that. You can try and make that data work on a flat plane, and you can try and make it work on a globe, and it will only work on a globe.
What the
That,
frick?
that's not demonstrating exclusivity.
That's
Like for
exactly what that
instance,
is.
right? For instance, so that logic is actually maintained in this discussion. If there was only one way to open a door with a key, right? And let's not use any hypotheticals of a code breaker or anything like that, right? It's a physical pattern that has to be met mechanically. Right? That's mutual exclusivity.
Mhm.
Can you demonstrate as robust as that, using that as the parallel, how you have no other way whatsoever? And if it's not obvious, I'll make it obvious after I finish this little bit. Right? No way whatsoever that it can be anything other than a sphere. Do you know how you do that, by the way? You show the sphere.
How's that?
So at its core, what you have to do
Mhm.
is you have to demonstrate the sphere. You don't assert the sphere, you don't claim the sphere, you show the sphere. The same way in the key example, you show the key with the right pattern. Show the sphere
Mhm.
without
Sure.
ambiguity and without
Mhm.
clinging to assumptions, erroneous conclusions, etc., etc.
Sure. So it's interesting when you were laying out that example, you said, except for code breakers and stuff like that. So if we're going to bar unreasonable exceptions, then yes, I think I demonstrated the robustness in that same way. You could posit some other sort of patchwork to make sense of it in some other way by introducing things that we have no justification for. But you could do the same thing with the key in the door, for example. So when I said by any reasonable metric, that's exactly what I mean, is that considering what we do know about physics in the world and blah, 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 light math, etc., that's the only conclusion can be got to before introducing, like, again, post hoc patchwork rationalizations and such. As far as demonstrating it, like showing a picture, we have pictures. I suspect you're going to doubt the legitimacy of those, but I mean, then it would be on you to show why we shouldn't trust those.
Well, we have a picture of the Loch Ness Monster.
A picture only shows
and it's
a picture only shows a 2D representation. I'm asking you to show me the sphere. Like if I said I had an apple in my pocket, right?
Mhm.
You were next to me, and you're like, I don't know about that. Show me the apple. I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna throw it at your head because you're being a pain in the neck, right? But regardless of the violence, I'm gonna show you the apple. You're gonna handle the apple, and you're gonna agree, if you have any sense in your cranium, that I do have an apple in my pocket, and now it's in your hand. So if you can't show me to that level of simplicity, the sphere, then with all due respect to every single word that comes out of your mouth, my response is this.
Okay, so that's done. If you're on the other side of a window or pane of glass or something, like you could show me the apple. I'm not immediately going to assume that it's like a cardboard cutout painted like an apple, right? Like you don't have to physically, personally handle things to know that they're real. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I don't.
Well, you do have to stick to the definitions of the terms that are used. If you object to the terms, then you can bow out. That's fine. But demonstrate is a very specific term. You're saying there's sphericity. Sphericity has inherent qualities to it that can be measured
Yes.
and verified.
Yes.
So
Correct.
show me, or in other words, demonstrate to me empirically the claim.
Right.
Or
So that would be what I was talking about.
I'll have the decency, because this is where it's going to go. Have the decency to admit that it's just a position that you hold to personally, but you don't actually have a legitimate reason to hold and impose upon reality.
Well, I gave you the reason, right? The 1 degree per 69 miles is a thing we can measure. That is a data set. That is the consequence of the Earth being a globe. That is something we can physically measure.
That's an assertion. It's not being demonstrated that it's incumbent upon the world to be round in order for that observation to be true.
But it is. That's what I mean by it's a natural consequence.
Okay, this is where I'm going to get muted for interrupting you, right? You just keep asserting. Show me the money. Or admit to being bankrupt.
It sounds like you're suggesting that there's a way for that relationship to exist on a plane, on a flat horizontal plane. Is that where you're getting at?
It could be that I'm suggesting that, but that's kind of besides the point, because you're saying that there's mutual exclusivity, and I'm asking you to demonstrate that. Because if you say it, then you should be able to show it. So show it,
yes, but
because think of the logic. If I show you the apple, I don't have to do anything else when I'm talking about the apple. The apple's there. So it's the same thing. Show the curvature, then the observations that you are relating to the curvature, they're not necessary.
So for you to suggest that the 1 degree per 69 miles does not, in fact, demonstrate exclusivity, you have to be suggesting that there are other ways for that to work, even on a flat plane. Like, I don't think the logic is unsound there.
Hasn't this debate already been settled?
Yes, it has.
We're not still debating flat Earth versus globe, right?
We are.
No, we're just holding.
Elisha, it's a globe, dude. You got to wake up from your delusion.
We're just holding some believer to account.
I think we're about to get to the bottom of it.
The bottom of what?
How many years has it been?
This debate, I think we're almost there.
A couple millennia, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to get distracted, that's fine. I'm not really that bothered. To me, it's laughable that I have to walk you down the garden path like an infant.
So, I mean, if you were to show me this apple that you have in your pocket, and I were to say, well, I don't know that's an apple, I'd have to take a bite out of it. And then I take a bite, right? I take a bite and I say, well, it tastes like an apple, looks like an apple, but I don't know if it's an apple until I like gene sequence it or something. And then I gene sequence it and I say, well, the code looks right, but I don't know if someone's been messing with my lab and they program my computer to spit out apple genes or something. Like, you understand that at some point I just have to call invincible skepticism, and there's really no winning this argument with that particular person.
You have to gene sequence an apple to know it's an apple? Are you serious, bro?
I don't.
The code that you don't know is relevant might be a psyop, so you don't know if an apple is an apple. That's what you just said. You said the code that might not matter could be wrong. So I don't know if this apple is an apple. You're a genius.
You think you're dunking on him right now, Level Up, but where's your test to prove that the apple can have gravitational force?
Great. Now we're going to deal with these two trolls. Great.
Yeah, at least it's funny.
Better than dealing with a guy who's in a wheelchair. Right, SE?
Bro, can you say something seriously for once? Like, can you just not troll, man?
I didn't troll.
You guys at the same time, and you play the same script over and
SE,
over.
you're the biggest crybaby. I made a legit argument, and you're just crying.
Wait,
I'm
manufactured
not
totem.
crying,
Are
bro.
you
You're
in a
talking about
wheelchair?
an apple having gravity. I mean,
Yeah,
you're starting
it's
your
kind
troll
of
already.
relating the apple to the globe, genius. You got to have a lab big enough to show that there's gravitational force on a globe the size that it is. So that's kind of impossible. So your little test that you need to prove that the Earth is a globe is impossible. You freak. The Earth is a globe, SE. Get over it.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, keep mumbling to yourself, big
Show
guy.
me a slice of this pie. I'm hungry.
I
don't
feel
think
like I
so.
heard somebody asking a question. I thought I heard
No, I
the
thought
voice.
I didn't know if he was just bringing up random nonsense or if you were legitimately in a wheelchair. I have no idea what he's talking about.
He sounds like Joe
Me?
Swanson.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
SE sounds like Joe Swanson. If nobody
Oh, you're talking
figured that
about
out.
SE? Okay. Come
I
on.
did not catch that, in fact. But I can hear it now.
Hey, you want to go to the drunken clam, Peter?
Jeez. Hey, SE, it's better just to let it play out. At least it's funnier than getting someone to answer basic questions.
I don't know. It's like kind of tedious. They come in as a team every day. Like notice when one comes in, the other one is with them at the same time. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
kind of
bum
tired
buddies.
of it. I
They're
guess
bum
it is
buddies.
what it is.
The
I mean, we don't travel in packs.
Manufactotum can't seem to answer a basic question. Or just admit
I was
that he
answering all your
can't show me.
questions.
Yeah, but you haven't shown me anything. I've asked for a demonstration. You haven't given me.
I have, though.
Where?
Okay, so the 1 degree per 69 miles, you're not considering that a demonstration, I suppose.
No, that's an appeal to the claim. I'm asking you to show me the claim. The claim is something that
No,
exists in
the
reality.
claim is that the
right?
Earth is round.
Show me. Show me.
I mean, the claim is that the Earth is round. The 1 degree per 69 miles is support for that claim. It's not in and of itself a claim.
No, it's not support for the claim. It can't support the claim if it hinges upon the claim. Are you silly?
It doesn't hinge upon the claim, though.
It does. You just said
It
it
hinges on
does.
observation. No,
You said it. Hold on. You said it's mutually exclusive. You agreed with me when I
yes.
said that it's contingent upon the Earth being a globe. Therefore, it cannot support the globe, but rather needs the globe to be supported in the way
No,
that
that's
you
not how that works.
interpret it. Of course,
No, that's not how it
you're
works.
putting the apple before the
Earth being a
cart.
globe,
This is
I'm not.
circular. This is begging the
It's
question. This
not.
is fallacy
I can
rich
explain to you how it's not,
dialogue, and I'm
if you allow me.
tired. I don't get why.
So,
At least you're being cordial, so you can carry on. But yeah, you're being silly.
so the Earth being round would carry some consequences physically, right? Those relationships that I described earlier of the height of a celestial object to your reference as you move away from its GP would be one of those consequences. So it's contingent on the Earth being a globe in the sense that it's a natural consequence of that geometry. But it's not
Right, so
contingent
now
on
what I'm
the
asking
claim
is,
being true that it's a globe. It's
so now what I'm
contingent on the
asking you is
physical
to show
nature of
me
it.
the geometry independently of what you're associating with the claim geometry. Then
Yeah, you can
I
observe
can
that.
agree with the conclusion that you made. But until you demonstrate it to me, how can I agree with it?
So you can observe that. Like that's just an observation. It's just data collected from observations in the real world.
Wait, I can observe the curvature?
You can observe the height of the celestial object as you move away from its GP.
That's not what we're talking about, right?
That's exactly what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about the curvature, right? We're talking about the
Yes.
sphericity. Can
And
I
its
observe
consequences.
that? Can you show me that?
I can show you the consequences of it. That only work if it's a globe.
No. You can't show me the consequences, right? You can only infer the consequences from your presup that it is. But you have to show
No,
me the thing
I
that
can-
is first before you show me the consequence of that thing being true. Because what
That's
if it's
not how
not
anything
true?
works.
What if it's
Then
not
you wouldn't
true?
see those consequences.
Yeah, but that's your claim. That's a claim
That's
that needs
logic.
to be verified. Do you understand? You're
The
telling me.
claim that you can only see the consequences of a physical
that
situation if that physical situation exists.
you're telling me that she's a virgin, but you're not showing me the hymen. I know that's really crude, but this is the level of simplicity and crudeness that needs to be brought to the conversation like this. Because you keep telling me that it's curved. Show me the curve.
Elijah, in his world, he's actually seeing the world from that point of view. So he thinks that those images are real.
Yeah, that's called pre-sub. But I want to see the sub. I don't want to pre it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He has seen it, so he thinks.
Well, show it to me then.
Sorry, I got a phone call. What I miss?
Yeah, she's telling you that it wasn't true and that she never liked it.
You've seen the images too. You just reject them.
No, I don't have to reject them, right? Because the images or the pictures or whatever they are besides the point from the claim. The claim hinges upon something. I want that thing to be shown to me. Because this is what's so wonderful. If you could actually show it to me, demonstrate it unambiguously, then everything else that you've built upon that, should the logic be sound, could actually be begun to be agreed with. But I can't agree with absolutely anything else that you build upon the one thing, because you haven't shown me the one thing, namely the curvature.
Elisha, you kind of sound like a baby flat earther. Like, have you seen any videos from, like, God, what's his name? Bill Nye? Yeah, Bill Nye. Have you seen any of his videos? Like, Base level stuff he says is debunking your entire premise.
Who's Bill Nye?
He's like a top level American scientist. He's kind of like he's in the same field as Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's just
I thought he was one of your. I thought he was one of your crew, professional actors.
well, sure he's an actor if you want to say he's in front of a camera, but it doesn't mean he's got a script. That's not really what an actor is.
Hypocrite, right?
There's people that act in documentaries. That doesn't mean they have scripts, bro. Come on.
Well, he says we live in a closed system. Bill Nye does. You aware of that?
Yeah, and
Irony.
Yeah, thick irony.
Manufactoto was getting the save of his lifetime by Trollcentric. That's lovely.
I don't need any saving, but I do have to go in like 5 minutes.
it's actually you that needs the saving.
Oh wait, you've
Elisha.
got 5 minutes to show me curvature. These are the last 5 minutes of your life. Use them well.
No,
You
but
ever
I
seen a
can't
loaf
show
of bread,
you curvature.
Elisha? There's curvature.
So the guy he just brought up says we live in a closed system.
He's half right.
Wait, you're playing with the troll? Careful.
No, I'm kind of exposing his thing.
Yeah, but he's not serious. He's
There's
just
not much to
taking-
expose, SE. Come on, try harder. The only thing that's getting exposed is your flawed ideas of reality. You've been in here for 10 plus years talking about, oh, the earth is flat, but the only thing you can do is do meta arguments against the words I say, not the proof. Thanks.
It's not a meta
And-
argument. I specifically
request-
stated a fact of the guy you brought up. It's a fact.
Your wish. Was it you or was it Blob? Sounds
It was
like-
Blob.
Okay, so wish. Is the request for evidence a flawed idea?
Yeah.
Okay. Funny guy.
Depends on the sincerity of the request.
I'm judging intent now.
Yeah.
No, he's flawed. What if the intent of the flat earth is to appear curved to certain people? What are you going to do about that?
What if you've been a flat earther for all this time and you don't know who Bill Nye is? Somebody who easily discredits everything you think. I think you need to research both sides before you come to a strong conclusion.
Were you listening closely?
A little bit.
I don't think he listens.
I was obviously pretending or suggesting that I didn't know him. I obviously knew of him. But who cares?
Elbow, if you're going to try to insult me, you got to change your profile picture from a frog playing video games first. Thank you.
It's just a dog with a hat.
It's actually a cat, and you said you eat frog legs yesterday, so
Yeah, you haven't tasted frog legs yet?
You need to fix up your diet. Quick time.
How about alligators? Have you ever had alligator
In
before?
fact, Totem has
do you eat them
wasted
raw
his
or do you eat them fried? That's the real question.
wasted.
Wow, really?
You wonder why people don't talk about this subject anymore in this room. It's more fun to.
Just get dunked on by Bill Nye.
Yeah, why don't you bring your boy into the chat? See if
I don't have any
see if he
kids.
could stand against anyone in this room. Even Andy.
I'm standing
even
strong
Andy
against
finished
you
it.
right now. You've literally not been able to debunk a single thing I said. You're just getting
Andy-
shat on
Andy flipped-
just by the
Andy
mention
flipped
of Bill
and he
Nye.
would still- Andy
Sure.
flipped and he would still outhandle that guy.
Anyone debate me. Earth is a globe. Go ahead.
You're a troll. Just don't reduce to debating. You're a troll.
Yo, show me the inversion.
That
That's
went
not
over
how
his
the debate's going to go. You're not going to make me send pictures in a chat.
Show me the inversion.
No.
All right, this is getting boring. Essie, you want to talk about Bible? Excuse me.
Yeah, let's bring Jeremy in.
Nah, let's have some fun, man. Let's not bring it. What's your favorite story in the Bible? Nah, let's have some fun, man. Let's not bring it. What's your favorite story in the Bible?
Buzz Killington Jeremy needs to join.
No, seriously, you guys got to chill out a bit on the Bible talk. Like seriously, it is kind of turning off a lot of people.
I didn't even bring it up. I've been talking about
The
law
idea that
and
there's a loving
Bible.
creator turns people off. Maybe
Oh
you
my
should stop being
God.
possessed.
Essie, I'm just trolling. Like, if you want to answer my question, that's fine. But not like trolling. Like, it's a legitimate question. Should you want to engage? But I didn't bring it up. I've been in here for flipping hours. And yes, Jeremy's right. I do dominate the chat, but at no point did I deviate any of the discussions to Bible. I might have referenced certain ideas from the Bible, same way anyone would reference anything that they're familiar with. But no, I didn't make it about the Bible. I've been talking about the US, about reptilians, but mainly the US and its constitution.
Look, the Bible talk doesn't really bother me. What bothers me is when you guys fight like verses, like you were doing with North and that. Like when you debate verses, to me, it's like
Yeah,
you're
they did
you're
that last
debating
night,
like
right?
a fantasy. Like that I can't handle. I'll just leave. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm not expecting you to enjoy it. But I think it's also fair enough to acknowledge that I did that last night because it naturally came up. I think can't remember what started it. I didn't do that today. I know
SE, are
today.
you a Christian?
I know that the days are different for you because you're different time zone. But yeah, for me it was a night sleep separate.
Are you a Christian, SE? Or what are you?
Nah, he's Canadian, dude. Get it right.
Okay.
We're all atheists up here. You didn't know?
He's a
I
communist.
didn't know that.
Part commie, part atheist, part commie.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, and I'm the troll, SE. Okay. Why can't you answer my question?
Because you're a troll, bro. I have no interest in talking to you.
I asked if you were a Christian. You said you were a communist.
Answer a troll.
Right, I'm
Please
trolling
make
you
it make
back,
sense,
brother,
bro.
giving you a taste of your medicine.
That's not a troll. That's just you being ignorant. I was trying to
wish
get
you
to a
wanna
legitimate
pick up
topic,
that
and you just want to be a bitter old man. So are you a Christian, SE, or not?
I see you're old.
Can we get on a topic?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Are you a Christian, SE? Dude, why are you
I
dodging?
don't wish to talk to you, bro. Like you're proving yourself a troll. I mean, sorry, but
I can't ask you a fucking question.
No, I don't wish to talk with you. I mean,
Let's
I'd
talk
rather
about the
spend my
ether.
time doing other stuff.
Let's cry about somebody being a troll when they're asking a legitimate question.
How many people I put to sleep if I
Grown
started
man,
reading
by the way.
the ether stuff? Oh, actually, Essie, let me send you a video. There's some stuff that I've been seeing recently of people doing demonstrations somewhat surrounding this ether magnetism topic. I think it's within the realms of stuff that we could do on our desk. I'm obviously more invested in it personally, but it's pretty low hanging fruit, I think. If you're
Why would
interested,
that be important, Elisha?
yeah, Essie, if you're interested, I can.
Why would that be important, though?
Essie, your DM's open because it's probably easier just to drop it there.
He's malding right now.
Yeah, it's open. That is an interesting topic, especially since we haven't figured out what magnetism is.
It's a force, SE.
Do you do Instagram or would you prefer YouTube?
YouTube would be better.
Okay, I'll just try and find his YouTube channel. I assume he has one. Most people have multiples. Okay.
It's no surprise to me that an atheist Canadian's afraid to have a fucking conversation. It's actually just pathetic.
Your games aren't going to work, bro, but you can
It's
try.
not a fucking game. I asked if you were a Christian, and you're fucking crying.
Why do you care?
I'm not crying. I'm laughing
Because
at you.
he complained about people bringing up the Bible when they're trying to do an argument. It's
When they
like,
spend
what's the problem with that?
when they spend 8 hours speaking about the same thing, not going
Yes,
anywhere. Yeah,
the
it's
North
definitely
thing, the
a
North and
complaint.
Rigger thing was a little
Okay,
bit
so
drawn
then
out.
why are you talking over me when I'm actually saying something? Huh?
Because you talk at 2 miles per hour, and I don't
So
want to give
what?
you
Be
30 minutes to
patient,
say your
listen.
point.
Listen, calm down.
That's
Okay.
just because he's digging underground, man. Come on, can't go that far.
But your cheeks weigh more than your brain, Elbow.
Yeah, he's got the schematics and stuff. Right, I found the website. I think.
So give us a rundown. What is it?
Well, it's more just the fact that he's actually doing the one that I think. Problem is, there's so many of these channels that I follow. I'm not necessarily sure if the same one is the same one. But this guy, he knows what he's talking about. Let me just get the link and drop it, and then try and talk about it there. It'll be easier. So one thing that I think this channel has been doing is some geometric patterns of magnet arrangements that have allowed him to replicate some of the plasma stuff that Tesla did. So,
You mean running current through magnets? 'Cause that's what Tesla did, and that's how apparently he discovered radiant energy.
Something like that. The reason that it's interesting to me and why I'm suggesting it to you is because this is seriously low-hanging, low-budget stuff that we could replicate. Like even like the dumbest, poorest of us could replicate. And you're not so dumb and you're not so poor. So if you're interested, it might be something to just try and get the principles in your hand. Because playing with plasma is flipping fun. But anyway, that's for me why I like the fact that it's like short things that you can comprehend, and you're like, okay, I could do that. I could get a 3D printer, or I could make it out of something. I could glue some magnets like that. I could copy that. That's what I'm talking about. But he doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I can't find a clip that's easy. Sorry about that. But anyway, I just thought it's an agreeable topic, at least for you and me. But let me
Yeah,
see
well,
if there's
magnetism has always fascinated me. Yeah,
I wonder if
for a
there's
long time.
an image.
It's an unexplained phenomenon, like literally an unexplained for hundreds of years. Nobody's been able to explain precisely what it is, to my satisfaction, anyway.
You've got pretty high standards, don't you?
It would be nice if Dicelo was here because he might be able to speak on some of the stuff.
Obviously, you've never watched a Ken Wheeler video.
Yeah, I have.
Seaman.
Oh, I have, and still not.
Oh, look at SE
Still not.
engaging with a troll comment. This guy only talks
Shut
about Ken
up,
Wheeler
man.
30
God, you
times a
are
day.
annoying, bro.
Hey, fat fuck, shut your mouth.
Shut the fuck
Sounds
up.
like an ex-girlfriend. Blob is a troll, but a lot less of a troll than you are.
Blob just interrupts everybody.
Wait, who's the you are? Who are you talking to?
And he
What?
still wonders why he always gets muted with this kind of behavior.
Oh, man, see, I confuse them. They're like inseparable fat entities. All right.
Wish is no longer here. He's left on his own, which I doubt, or probably somebody booted him. If that's the case, thank you very much.
Okay, I'll read this one thing from this video, and I'll post a link, but I don't know if you'll see it because it's Instagram. So, David Lappoint's magnet array is very unique. Oh man, this is bad sentences like the way I write. Once you start taking a closer look at its physical nature, magnetic field emitted from the array matched the lattice geometry behind reduced graphene oxide, which is the superior element used for harvesting ions from the atmosphere. Ironically enough, if you build this array large enough, you will produce measurable ionic wind, according to Lapointe or Lapont, however you read it. So that's what's been interesting me the most. It's the array and what the geometry of these magnets produces. And it's news to me how that has anything to do with graphene oxide, but that's what he's saying. So I'll just drop the link.
Graphene oxide has a hexagon.
It's similar to that thing that we have in England, the Eden project, similar to that stuff, or the Buckminster Fuller type stuff. It's a specific geometry.
Yeah, that's equilateral triangle, 20 Buckminster Fuller.
But what I'll do, Essie, is I'll look up who he's citing, the David Lapointe stuff, and then that gives you reading material.
That's the same thing Archie was talking about.
There's actually a guy who's been collecting and restoring old Tesla plasma units, and he's been selling them and helping people with health. So there's one thing I saw, someone with ocular degeneration, and she was using so it's like plasma contained in glass. Don't know how the device works specifically, but she was just putting that to her eye. And
that's resonance frequency, Elijah. That's the same technique as Royal Raymond 5. They both made that machine.
Cool.
And the plasma tube is for generating certain frequencies.
Anyway, so you can purchase these. I don't know how easy it is, but that might be fun.
I like to respond to Stark Otter. He says, that is true for all physics. We don't really know what anything is on a fundamental level. The models we have are excellent at describing how things behave, but none of them say what it is. Well, that's not true because they say, and by they I mean the pseudoscientists, they say they know what gravity is, and they're very specific. It's the fabric of space-time. So that statement is not true.
Yeah, I wanted to say fake and gay, but I didn't want to interrupt you. Ooh. Oh, here's a YouTube channel for you. Isn't that just like a philosophical get out clause so we can't understand anything? If so, then why speak?
Another thing I find quite fascinating with these ballers is they tend only to focus on the shape of the Earth. They have this obsession with shape. But all the other stuff, it's like, I don't care about dark matter. Oh, who cares about dark energy? The Earth is still a globe. Like, why is there this fascination of shape, I wonder? And only shape.
Because they're fake and gay and they like balls.
Like, surely there's got to be more than just shape that runs around your mind, right? And when you corner them on something about their pseudoscience, right, they always say, yeah, but that doesn't mean the Earth is not a ball. Like, what is that? Like, I don't get it. This fixation on one aspect of reality.
Yeah, but the whole model is based on Pythagoras, on a circle with a dot in the center and a 90-degree zenith above your head.
The monad. Yeah.
And that's the same with the impedance they measure in the so-called vacuum. And same thing quantum mechanics is talking about with that negative energy. It's basically one and the same thing.
It's quite fascinating the way they compartmentalize, I guess, and just focus on one thing and put everything else that goes against it aside.
Yeah, but even there you got the geometry. Because if you look at the qubits of mechanics, if you look at the corners of qubits and you look at what a Y circuit in electrons, it's just for a Y sector. It's for Y sector connected with lines in between that makes the square, that makes the circuit basically. So all they are doing is using geometry.
Yeah, but why are they just focused on that one aspect, Grizzle? Do you have any idea why they would just focus on shape and disregard all
Because
the
it,
other things that goes against their pseudoscience?
yeah, but they don't want you to look at water. They have been hiding the separation of hydrogen and oxygen for decades now. So that is what they don't want. That is what with thrusters and everything. That is what they are using to generate that power for flight. And even when you have high frequencies and you spin fields really fast up that flow in between, then you get a high energy pushing in front of that. You can use that energy to drive any aircraft there that you want.
But you're saying they're trying to keep us away from harmonic frequencies? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but even if you look at the video you shared of things, needles and everything, that is resonance frequency. That's the same thing Tesla used. That's the same thing Royal Raymond 5 used to implode organism in the human body. And that doesn't only count for organisms. You could implode a whole building by resonance frequency alone.
Well, Tesla surely believed that, and he claimed he made a device that does just that through vibrations. Like,
Yeah,
we know for sure, like the
it's,
bridge. Remember the bridge and the soldiers? So we
yeah,
know.
but if you look at this earthquake machine, that was ignited by plasma in the sky. And if you look at what happened in Turkey with that earthquake, there was a blast in the sky as well. So that is basically technology. And if you look at what is, that is the sky thing. But if you look at the neutrino thing in Antarctica, that is the ground thing. You have a full operational system already on the ground.
Yeah, it is a fascinating subject, the vibration, to be sure.
Yeah, but the only thing they really can measure is P waves and S waves coming from the ground. There is no other motion they can measure. That's it.
Well, yeah, that's how they claim they know stuff that's in the ground, which they got absolutely devastatingly wrong when they dug the Kola borehole in Russia. So yeah.
Yeah, but they even came into a rock layer where water was running through. Earth magnetic field is that is current going to the ground, coming from the seas, going to the air. That is one system basically. That is what they are replicating in everything in our world.
Like, I'd like to hear from a baller, like, why do you always focus on shape when all other things are brought up? Why do you, like, is that a comforting thing to go back to the ball and envelop yourself in that blanket of shape and disregard all the other things that go against your pseudo cosmology, shall we say? What, like, why do you always go back to the globe, to the shape? Is it a warm, comforting blanket, or nobody wants to answer that? Wow.
It keeps amazing me how they keep denying that they on the surface a circular mat with arc lengths connecting. You can flip a circle or a circle, then you get an azimuth from the horizon, top of the field, and backwards over your head.
Yeah, all their like all their ideas and everything when they do their calculations. Good one, Tam. Yeah, it's all with a circle, and they cut their globe in half, and everything starts from there. Their gravity, their radius, everything is from a circle. You're correct.
Yeah, but if you know that the angle of a circle matches the radius and the arc length when you have that, and when you have a 90-degree circle, then you should have a 90-kilometer radius and a 90-kilometer arc length. That is just meaning you have 1/4 of a total circle only. And that means you have 2 hemispheres, you only have 2/4 of a total world.
Well, all you need to do is go down to the beach, and you can see that they're 3 mile wrong. Like anybody with half a brain could go down there and just disprove that there are with your own eyes. Just observe a boat, and I mean, it's gone.
Yeah, but the horizon is your maximum focal point, and linked at that moment in time. Everything beyond that line gets distorted and bent. It's just how vision works.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did when I got my P900 is I went down to the St. Lawrence River, observed for myself, and you can do it on your own. There are disappears like with one observation. It's that simple.
And the biggest spiral is that the right triangulation, the star celestial. Fuck, you're using a flat surface plane.
Well, yeah, all they talk about is the sun and the shape. That's it. I mean, for them, that's sufficient to tell them where they live on. I mean, it's okay if that's what they want to believe, but yeah.
Yeah, but even with a sextant, you only have 90 degrees above your head and below. From zenith to nadir, you have 90 above and 90 below your feet. So that's, and the middle in that between is your fucking, is it that hard?
Beliefs are hard to, to get out of your system. I mean, everybody's been taught that from kindergarten. What do you see on the board? You see letters on top of the blackboard, and you see a globe on the teacher's desk. So that's what everybody's been brought up with.
Yeah, but if you look at how they GPS a mountaintop center base out with 3 satellites, they do that from zenith to nadir, top of that mountain, vertical to the surface on just one single point.
Look,
That means you have a plumb line at that point.
it's like a cult, Grizzle, right? They've been convinced that light travels forever. They've been convinced that they're moving right now. As I'm sitting in my chair, recliner, very comfortable, that I'm traveling at 1.5 million miles an hour. They've been convinced that you don't know if a car hit a tree or a tree hit the car. They've been convinced you don't know if the apple is falling or if the earth is moving upwards. So, I mean, you can't have a conversation with a person like that.
No, it's been 4 years, and all I still hear is perspective, which really proves no shit. It only proves how far you can see.
Perspective, relativity, gravity, all these catchphrases that they use and they believe.
Yeah, but why does an object fall really? It only keeps on falling until a bigger object stops it. It's as fucking simple as that.
And they've been convinced that an attractive force is the same thing as a non-force with a bending of fabric of space-time. You can do a calculation and it's the same thing. So I mean, how can you convince with that? How can you fight that? I mean, good luck.
Yeah, but in the background they keep on using Newton's law of motion, which just gives you the direction, but doesn't tell you. Even Newton himself told you that it was ridiculous to call that force gravity because it works both ways, not in one direction.
Yeah, like I said, it's fascinating to to see how that framework of mind works. Like you can have duality, you can have dialetheism, you can believe both things. Like the Atmos is both closed and open, and it's just, I mean, I don't know. I find it kind of fascinating.
Wait, who said GPS?
I think that
I
was
said
Wisdom.
GPS.
Oh, God, it's like the final boss. What was the claim about GPS?
That they measure center mass of a mountaintop from zenith to nadir, from the top, from the sky out, to one single point at the surface.
At what step of GPS does that happen?
When they are singling out a mountain with 3 satellites.
I mean, you know what, Crizzle, you win. You got me. I have no response to that. Anyway, continue the conversation. I just heard GPS was mentioned, so.
Yeah, but when you connect all those dots with circles, what you got then?
When
Doesn't
you
mean
connect
you
all
have a
those
globe.
dots
I don't
with
think so.
I'm not sure. What do you get then?
Yeah, where do you think you get your arc length from in the sky?
I don't know. I do have a question for SE though. SE, you there? Hello?
For you, or do you? Sorry.
Yeah, I had a question for you.
Yeah,
Well,
go for it.
you know that Elon is shutting down Russian use of Starlink in Ukraine, right? How does Russia use Starlink? And why are the things overhead? If it was balloons, why wouldn't they just shoot them down?
That's a good question. Honestly, my honest answer is I don't know what they are. I have seen a string of lights in the sky myself, so I know there's something up there. But if you're asking me what, I don't know. Could be some sort of drone, some sort of advanced machine that we don't know about. I don't know.
All right,
How many satellites are that, Nord? 170 or 200?
in the Starlink
That are sending
constellation?
out only one. Yeah, they're only doing one signal, one way.
No,
You
Starlink
might
is
looking at the Skynet that is even observing their own population and watching the sky. That's what you're looking at.
the Starlink is two-way though. GPS is one way. Starlink, you have to
Yeah, but
communicate.
apparently Starlink has lots of satellites that are known to no one. They are up there and sending only a signal one direction. You can only ping them. You need to know where they are.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know anything about Starlink really.
And that's
Anyway,
what
what do you guys think of?
Trump has been building for America as well, guys.
What do you guys think of the lens theory effect in general relativity, or geodetic frame dragging?
Geodetic frame dragging?
They changed the NAT 83 once in so many years now.
I'll drop a link about it. You can read it. We can talk about it later, maybe.
Let me ask you, Mordwan, because I know you're in Russia, right? And you're in the thick of things. Do you think there's one world government, one world order, or do you think there's many gangs like I do? What's your opinion on that? Did I come through there, or? Mic check. Am I breaking up, or?
No, I can hear you fine, Essie.
Thanks, Grizzle. for those that don't know, Mord 1 is in the army in Ukraine, active duty.
Must not be very active.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I'm not bringing it up. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I think he-
Did he leave or?
Yeah.
No, he got out.
Okay.
Must have been him in one of the fiber optic drones.
Yeah. I had an interesting debate with him the other day about the war in the Ukraine. I wanted to have it here, but we had it somewhere else on his request.
Essay. I put the thing about the Tesla's Starlink thingy satellites. The guy has been pinging those. I don't know what is true of it, but if this is true, then it's time people start opening their eyes.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I didn't really watch it, but yeah, I saw that. It was in my feed. Look, who knows what's up there, right? And how stuff works up there. Like, to me, it being a vacuum, just it can't be, right? It's against all physics, right? Now, what it
No,
is,
that's ridiculous. It's not a vacuum up there. Certainly
yeah,
not.
yeah. Now, what it is, I don't know. Is it a superfluid? Is it some sort of transitional? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate, but I know for sure it cannot be with the physics we know. It cannot be a vacuum, and it cannot be a ball of gas. That I know for certain for myself.
Yeah, if you know that everything changes by pressure and temp from a solid to a liquid to gas and back and all in between, then you know there is nothing else than that.
Well, it seems they figured it out because they got some stuff flying up there.
Yeah, but that's just using Tesla's technology of counter-rotating fields and spinning them up really fast.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate because I don't want to be part of the bull, the bull society. But like I said, the only thing I can be certain of is not what they tell us. It cannot be a ball of gas next to a vacuum. That is physically not possible. So that's the most I can say about that. And it can't be open and closed and partially open, partially closed. I mean, I don't buy that. So that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, but oceans basically show us that it's a closed system.
Well, if it's gas, like they're saying next to a vacuum, it would have to be a closed system. There's no way around that. The physics in this world demands that. There's no way around that.
Come on, Essie, it's a gradient.
Yeah, gradient. Yeah, that's their explanation. It's amazing.
Is that the claim yet? A gradient? Layer?
Yeah, gradient and gravity. That's their claim.
Why is NASA doing all layering research then?
Why did Bill Nye say they can't leave low Earth orbit? It's an enclosed system. We can't leave. Regardless of what they claim. The whole video, I've watched it all, and he says it's a closed system. We can't leave.
Yep, that's what I brought up before when he said when he brought it up.
Yeah, but the moon is still in our system. They had to bring it closer. Some way, somehow. The whole thing is fucking ridiculous.
How many times has the sun changed positions too? How many distances has the sun had?
Yeah, it went from 3 million to 93 million. But that's progress, right, Tam? That's progress. That's how science works.
That's a big jump from 3 million to 93 million. I don't know how they didn't catch that.
Yeah, and then you got the sun turning in different directions, different parts of the world. But if you look at the tectonic movement, that ain't so strange. You got one part going clockwise, the other part going anti-clockwise. So, and they still wonder why we have two counter-rotating star signs. How come?
I still haven't really gotten a very good answer as to why the sun that's supposedly 93 million miles away with parallel rays where the heat is coming into Earth's atmosphere, and when you're standing in the backyard, you can feel the heat of the sun on your face, yet somehow we manage to have clouds and storm systems in between those rays and Earth. Like, how does a fiery ball not burn off the clouds between, their sun and Earth? Personally, I don't think the sun's a fiery ball, but I think the sun's something different than what they're describing. But to me, I'm like, that totally doesn't make any sense, that how you could have a heat source beyond the actual physical item it's heating up, and the things like clouds and condensation is not just evaporating constantly.
That's a very good question. And also, I don't know if you heard my thing, Tam. How does that fiery ball, like you said, that heat source, whatever that is, how does it heat a ball only in the center while keeping the two ends frozen for millions and millions of years? How is that possible?
Yeah, exactly. And isn't it the Earth tilting back and forth too, or something, to get seasons? Or am I mistaken on that?
Well, yeah, that's their explanation. The tilt, the tilt. Yeah.
Yeah, and they got something new now. Is the moon sending out light? Because in the shade under a tree, it's hotter than in the moonlight, and then the moon is giving you gold light. What kind of retarded logic is that?
Yeah, I know. I asked that one too. I'm like, how can the moon reflect the sunlight and be cooler than the shadow? That doesn't make sense. Never get an answer. Just that stare, blink, blink, blink.
Yeah, but if you look at everything is sending out electric, even our Earth, and if that shade of is covering that Earth, and that Earth is still hotter, then it means that heat is coming from the Earth, not from the things in the sky.
Well, they do say that, right? They claim that the reason that you feel, what is it? They say the reason you feel the heat at night or something, the sun absorbs something to the effect that the sun, that's why the clouds don't disappear. It's something to do with that the sun heats the ground all day, and then the heat comes from the ground up. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense, but something to that effect, that the ground is heating the Earth, not the sun.
I've been to Brazil, and if you look in the morning, I came out of my bed in my hotel room, totally disappointed. One cloud running over my hotel towards the sea. Those clouds, the rainfall produce those clouds. And in the night, those clouds go back to the land, and they produce the rain because the land is warmer. It's so hard, nature.
And then you wake up in the morning and there's frost all over the grass.
Yeah, people are idiots.
Yeah, let me address the text. Yeah, we are aware of your story of nuclear fusion. It's not the first time we heard that. So just FYI. And you have no way of verifying that, by the way. None. Because they're laughing.
They got
think
gas
that
stuck in between fields. That ignites with oxygen.
It's so ironic that they laugh at the sort of questions that are like legitimate questions, and they don't question it. It's just so weird. Like, you're laughing at something that you're not questioning, and you're just believing because somebody else told you that that's the information, and you just accept it. And now you sit on your throne of moral superiority and start laughing about stuff you're actually in the position of ridiculousness. Ridiculous.
Yeah, they know that they don't know what the sun is, right? They've just been told there's no way to prove it. They'll tell you spectroscopy. I've disproven that so many times, it's not even funny, right? But they keep on insisting that they know what the sun is. And when we say fireball, it's a jest. It's not, we don't believe the sun is a fireball.
Nope. You live in a world ruled by electromagnetic, and you think that that is a fireball, then you're mad.
Yeah, I did debunk your son. What you think is nuclear fusion? Absolutely debunked it. You know why? First of all, you didn't even prove that it is that. The only thing you have is spectroscopy and speculation. That's it. You know for
What is,
sure that you don't know what the sun is. I mean,
so I see in the chat they're going off about me saying that it's a fireball. So if it's not a fireball and it's not nuclear fusion, which apparently is that not, what is it then? What are they claiming that the sun is if it's not a hot fiery ball? Because according to the pictures NASA shows, it shows a fiery ball. It shows solar flares of, flying flames of, what is it then? What is the heat? What is producing the heat? Tell me there, whatever your name is in chat. Maiden, whatever. Made in England.
and while he's doing that, no, I'm not denying spectroscopy. We have terrestrial spectroscopy with very advanced machines that work. Now, space spectroscopy, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. But I've said many times, even if I grant you that you can see helium from the sun, which I'm not 100% sure, even if I grant you that, you still don't know what the interior of the sun is. So that's that, man. That's a fact.
And what are they saying produces the heat? And how does it not affect the clouds? Nobody's giving an answer. He's just writing in the text saying what I'm claiming, but I'm asking legit questions.
His answer is nuclear fusion. That's what they say, and they have no proof of it. I just went through it.
So what's
But
nuclear fusion? Does nuclear fusion produce heat?
Yes.
So it's not a fiery ball, it's a nuclear fusion hot ball? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
That's their pseudo model. That's their pseudo model. It's like a nuclear bomb, right? Basically. That's what they're saying.
So fire, heat. But it's not a fireball. It's a nuclear fireball, but it's not a fireball?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah, exactly. It's nuclear bombs going off and off and off and off and off. I guess is their pseudo model.
But calling it a fireball is just too simplistic? Is that why I'm being, what do you call it, made fun of in the chat?
Well, they have nothing else to say except try to make fun of stuff, right? But they know that there is no certainty of what the sun is. I mean, it's just a story that's been sold.
Yeah, and
It's
they're
like,
only measuring the electromagnetic of stuff.
yeah, they talk about neutrinos and this and that. It's like the barrel model I use, right? I say you can take a barrel, I could put something inside of it, pour gasoline on it, set it on fire, right? And you can tell me all about there's fire and there's this and that, but there's no way using spectroscopy that you can tell me what's inside the barrel. So that kills their argument right there. But for some reason, they just don't want to see it and admit it. Trust me, if they had proof, they would lay it out. What's that, Blob? Fascinating.
Hey, what's the topic?
Topic is, what is the sun?
What is the sun? Isn't the sun from the energy or the energy from the sun just electrical, like same as Wi-Fi, right? Same as Wi-Fi radiation, but it's a different frequency.
That's the first time I heard that one.
Is it not the same?
Like I said, that's the first time I heard that one. How about you, Elbow?
Wait. Hey, SE. Why is sunlight healing, and why is Wi-Fi radiation harmful?
Again, you came into troll, bro. With your buddy Wish.
Yeah,
See,
every
at the same
question
time.
is a troll. All of a sudden, every single thing anyone says is just a troll.
We're
Meanwhile,
talking
you're the
about
one.
what the sun is made of,
Your
bro.
name is Seaman, and you're accusing other people of trolling.
Well, there come the ad homs.
All right. So sunlight heals you. Wi-Fi radiation poisons you. Why? Let's see if we can get some value and some substance out of you, Seaman.
See the troll? Complete irrelevance. Just talk to yourself, man. Don't waste my time.
Yeah, everyone's trolling.
No, it's only one troll here.
Not enough missile talk, I guess.
Gatekeepers,
Hey, we could have got
that's
to
what
the
I call
bottom.
you.
Hey, we could have got to the bottom of something, but you know what's crazy, SE? You know what's insane? You know what's absolutely bonkers? I have a clip of Witsit and QOP saying I'm like a genius and I've educated this whole community on germ theory for the past year. Two people who don't like each other and have the biggest egos in the whole community don't like each other. Admitted that. And you're accusing me of trolling.
Funny, never heard you about
You fucking clown.
Let's take it easy on the insults and let's get subject.
Okay.
If you think you're going to get a reaction out of me, it's not going to work.
I could post the clip right now.
We were talking about the sun.
They both IQ log you.
Not about what you think you up and Witsit thinks about
Okay.
you. That's relevant.
All right. Well, you're accusing me of trolling, right? You're accusing me of trolling. Yet two geniuses that don't even like each other with the biggest egos in the whole community say I'm one of the most valuable people in here. So get fucked, Essie. I mean, Seaman.
And that's it coming out of Wits's mouth. No wonder.
Oh yeah, Witsit's mouth, QOP's mouth, anybody who actually listens to me.
Well, I
Rich,
never
you
listen
would
to
be
you,
saying
and
the
I will
same
never
shit.
listen to you because
Yeah.
you're just full of shit.
No, because you've been incinerated repeatedly.
I've been so incinerated that you guys do not have an answer.
By the way, Witsit likes me and Wish. No, I've cooked you on basic health shit. Like, you don't understand anything about health. And look, the thing is, around this community, I'm the top dog. It's not even close. And there's certain people who I would say are geniuses. You're not even in the top 20, Crizzle. You're not even, like, you're nothing. You're not
Do
respectable
you
at all
think
when it
that I
comes to this
care?
topic.
Do you think I care?
Yeah, you
but
should.
your ego
you
is
think
pretty
you think
big,
you're some
buddy.
sort of genius. You're going to come in here and, like, school people, and I'm full of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about anything, Crizzle. You don't listen to anyone.
I know more
you
than
haven't done
you.
any
Because
research.
if you think
No, you
germ
haven't.
theory is the thing, then you haven't read up, buddy.
So I just muted him. I wasn't going to do it while he was
Thank you.
insulting, but I'm definitely not going to let him insult you, Grizzle. So I just muted him.
Oh, I don't care, Essie. He's just excusing. He really is.
Now we can get back to our conversation of what the sun is, if you guys like, or anything else.
But if you look at
somebody wants to
NASA's,
bring. Yeah.
Well, I think
some
you're
not
talking
getting
about
the answers.
the health benefits of sunlight.
Yeah, exactly, because the sun's not what they claim it is.
Yeah, but if you look at the research of NASA to Earth electromagnetic field, they turn out to be a horizontal and a vertical field. But if that vertical field moves over that horizontal field, that is exactly like what our sun is moving in the sky. So what I think, it's just the interference where two fields are meeting cross point that moves over our Earth.
But I think Tam has an interesting question. Like, how come the sun doesn't dissipate the clouds with all the heat?
Yeah, but if you look at the sodium layer of above Earth's surface, and that is 90 kilometers above, but that sun we see is also at a 90-degree angle. So if you take that sun must be just above that sodium layer, basically. And then it would not evaporate the clouds beneath that sodium layer.
I think a bigger question is where it gets its energy from. Usually
Yeah, we
everything
got a bubble filled with gases. And when two fields, that compresses that gas in between those two fields, and oxygen gets better. It's oxygen that ignites gases.
So everything consumes energy, right? If it's doing something and it has to consume some kind of energy, which that means it has to have some kind of input. something
Yeah,
to
but if,
transform from one thing to
yeah, but
another.
if you look at what pressure is movement, and
Yeah, but
decompression
that's
is also movement.
yeah, but
So
pressure
when
takes
everything in the
energy.
system is on the move, there is always energy around.
Yeah, pressure takes energy.
Yeah, you eat for your energy, but you
Right.
still move around also.
Yeah, but that consumes the energy. That's why you got to keep eating.
Yeah, but you generate energy by moving.
Now that consumes energy. Not moving doesn't generate energy. That consumes energy.
No, you're misunderstanding me. Your feet walking over that earth generates friction, and that friction in between is what generates energy.
On the sun?
No, in the system, you got the impedance, the little negative charge they never can remove out of a vacuum chamber. That is the little charge that everything what is on provides in the system.
Yeah, no, what I'm talking about is the sun, though. I don't know why you're coming down to the system over here. What makes the sun continue to have energy, and where does it get energy to consume and produce the energy that it's giving us?
In the system of transformation, that would not be that solids going to liquids to gases, and that even that turn of that phase, that is what generates energy. So
what liquid to gas?
You have a system with all those things in it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the sun. What does it get its energy? I don't know what you're talking about the system here, pressure, and I don't know what.
Everything in our world holds energy. When it goes on the move, you get friction in between, it generates more. It ain't that hard to get.
Holds energy. Okay.
Well, the explanation they give us for the sun, and by they I mean the pseudoscientists, is just a fantasy story, you know. So, I mean, I claim that nobody knows what the sun is,
I'm
and
with
I think
you.
I'm right on that. I mean,
I
I
think
must
I'm with you.
be wrong.
100% Misty. I think the sun is obviously some sort of energetic being that we absorb, and depending on your frequency is how you absorb it. And the clouds don't melt because of the fact that it's not a hot ball, it's something else.
Yep. I agree.
And it's
Say
not
again. You
a
think it's
million
what?
miles away.
Say it again, Tam. Sorry.
I think it's just an energy. It's some sort of a maybe it's sentient. I don't know. Some sort of an energy ball that creates frequency that you feel based on frequency, not based on heat projection. Like it's not a heated ball. Everything absorbs to a certain, reacts to it in a certain way. Like that's why clouds don't melt because of I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's not what they say it is anyway. I'm just babbling now.
I mean, is there anything that produces energy that does not dissipate heat?
I don't know. Does helium produce heat? I don't know. Is it hot when you touch it? When you blow up a balloon, does the balloon get hot?
Does it produce energy?
Obviously produces energy, but I don't know whether it creates heat.
Well, when you light it up, would it blow up and or burn?
Well, that's using fire. Yeah,
Right,
obviously.
because then it produces that energy. I mean, it has
With
potential
fire.
to produce energy.
Yeah, exactly.
But once you make it combust, the energy, then it becomes, then it dissipates heat.
I don't actually know what you're trying to say right now. Sorry, can you clarify?
What I'm saying is that if helium by itself doesn't produce energy, it has to be combusted to produce energy, and then it produces the heat. The heat dissipates. In other words, if it's energy being produced, the sun is giving out heat. That means there's energy, and you can see the light. It takes energy, and it's producing heat because of that energy. So you mentioned helium. That's what I was saying. How is helium producing energy? I mean, it has the potential to produce energy.
I don't get what you're trying to say though. I don't think the sun is actually physically hot itself. That's all I was trying to say. Like it's not a hot ball.
I mean, it produces heat. It definitely does. If it's producing energy, it's dissipating heat somewhere.
I still don't get how the clouds and all that can be that close or around that area and not dissipate if it's producing heat. Like how does that space between the sun and Earth not heat up? Like, why is that layer not warm in there? And I know they're going to say there's no molecules up in space because there's nothing for the heat to grab onto, but it still doesn't make sense that a sunball can produce heat and it can go through 93 million miles of space and then all of a sudden be hot on your face and miss the clouds and all those layers in between.
Well, that's if you buy into the 93 million miles.
It's a focal point of light, excitement of the sky. It's because when the sun hits the surface, as long as there is nothing shining on it, will not burn the surface.
Well, I'll tell you one property of the sun that we can reproduce, right? And make of it as you wish. The sun is needed to grow plants, correct? Everybody agrees on that?
Yes,
Yep.
everything needs light.
Okay, so we can reproduce growing plants with electromagnetic energy called lights, right? So there's a property that we can reproduce. So it has something to do with electromagnetic.
Yeah, and the lights aren't hot. Those lights that I have for my grow lights, they're not hot. They don't produce heat. My lights
Yeah,
aren't
they
anyway.
produce some heat, but yeah, not that. Yeah, point well taken. Yep. And we also know that. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, because like sometimes you'll be sitting on your chair. Okay, this is just me thinking. I'm sitting on my chair. The sun is out and it's beating on my face, right? And I feel my face is getting warm as it's. And then I will sit beside. I'll touch the grass, and the grass beside me will be cool. The chair will be cool, but my face is totally getting hot. Or another object beside me say something that absorbs, like a black will absorb it, and it'll be warm. So I don't know. It's just I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah,
The light
that's
is not
why.
the only thing that it needs to produce to grow a plant.
Yeah, the lights do get hot, by the way. But she's making a point that not that hot. But the lights do get hot.
The LED lights.
Yeah, even the LED lights. Yeah,
Also produce heat.
yeah.
Oh, I never noticed it. I guess it's pretty minuscule heat. I guess.
It's still heat.
Yeah. Not compared to the incandescent ones, that's for sure.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make is that we can reproduce plant growth using electromagnetic energy through light, through LEDs or whatever. But try growing plants in a thermonuclear reaction, right? That's the point I'm trying to make. At least we know one aspect of the sun that we can reproduce.
Heat is not produced when light is emitted. Heat is produced when it's absorbed. So what does that mean? When there's a fire and you're looking at it and the fire's creating a light and the heat is coming off of it. Like I'm sorry. Maybe I'm ignorant and dumb. I don't know, but what you're saying doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. Sorry, I'm talking about the guy in the chat. I don't want to text. Does that mean the fire's not hot? Or the heat isn't coming off the fire until it hits something? Or is the heat coming out of the fire? Like, so the fire isn't hot unless it's being absorbed by something? Is that what he's trying to say?
Yeah, I think it more means like that the light from a fire is coming from combustion, and the light from electromagnetic radiation is coming from the interaction. So they are not one and the same thing.
Mark, just admit you don't know what the sun is, bro. It's very easy. Just say this. I don't know what the sun is. That's all you got to do, bro. It's very simple. You know it's true. Just admit it and move on. Why is that so difficult for you guys? I don't get it.
Yeah, but what he's saying with that reflection and about that sunlight on a black shirt, white shirt, That alone shows you that light needs object to produce that heat or that cold. If light is reflected, means that radiation can't be absorbed by the material. That means it is hydrophobic, basically, or in a way, just as with water. But when it takes it in, it is hydroponic, just as the surface and everything.
The sun is undergoing nuclear fusion, SE. How do you know that? You can't possibly know that, Mark. You just can't, man. I mean, let it go. It's okay. It'll be fine. The sun will still be here tomorrow, hopefully.
So photons, they claim that's now I'm really confused. So they claim that this is it photons that are coming off the sun?
No, electrons not, because they measured the electron sun and Earth. So I think that then you're looking for electrons, not.
Why aren't they talking? Are they blocked or something? Or are they just texting?
For some reason, they don't want to talk. Maybe they're at work. Who knows?
Oh yeah. I can't play on this at work.
Some of them we've never heard their voice before. It's just in text. That's another thing that they're claiming neutrinos, Pam. Photons and neutrinos. They can detect helium and so on and so forth.
So what's coming off the sun is not photons; it's neutrons or
No, it's
electrons.
definitely photons, but they claim all kinds of things are coming.
So
from
which is the heating part? The heating part is when it hits your face, your body's reacting to it. It's not hot rays coming on your face. It's just your body reacting to the light.
Well, let's let them answer that one. What do you think, Mark? What's heating? I know what the answer is from them, but I want to hear them say it.
And I still don't get how it skips the clouds. I'm just so confused.
Well, he's typing your answer right now. There it is. Electromagnetic radiation. I knew it, but I wanted him to say it. So there's your answer, Pam. So not nuclear fusion, electromagnetic radiation. That's why I brought plants up before.
Yeah, and electromagnetic radiation that excites ions of your skin, and that goes ion channels of the body, and that is what feeds your body energy. Very simply said.
Yo, Mark, how sure are you of that? From 0 to 100%, how sure are you of what the sun is? I trust the science, so 100% then, or 99.99999.
Are you talking to somebody?
Yeah, I'm talking to Mark. Made in England.
Oh, I can't hear him. Is he talking back? Do I have muted him or something?
No. He just does a chat thing. Does it?
Oh, hey, I got something interesting that just happened about smart meters. If you guys don't have smart meters on your home and you would like to opt out, put a sign on your smart meter. I did that. I laminated it so water wouldn't destroy it, saying that I wanted to opt out. And every place I've lived, I've asked the people. I call the electric company and ask them if they have any future plans to put on smart meters like in my neighborhood. And I just talked to somebody a couple months ago, and she said, "No, your neighborhood isn't on the list for smart meters. And if you are on the list, we'll call you and schedule a time to let you know, like, hey, we're gonna come out this day, this time, whatever." So, of course, I don't believe them for shit. And I put the sign out there, and just now my little ring thing was going off because I got a camera right above it. So, the sign literally says, like, you're on camera, like, smile, you're on camera. If you try to change, like, I'll not only have a lawsuit against the electric company, but whoever personally changes this, and so he, like, came around, and I went outside, and he's like, "Oh, I just saw your sign. So, I'm not," and he had, like, a box in his hand, like, he was ready to replace it. And I'm like, "Wait a second, you guys are supposed to, like, call me ahead of time." And he's like he just put a notice on the door that says, "We switched out your smart meter." And I, like, looked at it. I'm like, he's like, "You can give that back to me. I just marked on your list, on the thing." And I'm like, "Do I need to call anybody to say I'm opting out?" And he's like, "No, I just put you as an opt out." I'm like, "Is the whole neighborhood getting it?" And he's like, "No, only certain houses. And your house was on the list." And I'm like, "That's so fucking weird that, like, not every house in the neighborhood, just specific houses." And, like, mine just so, like, I don't know. I'm just so happy that I put that sign out there, because otherwise it would have been switched out without me saying it's okay. And then I would have had to pay. Like, that's what happened in Phoenix. They switched it out without my consent. And then I told them to switch it back, and I had to pay $60 to have them switch it back out. And, like, probably now it would probably be like $200 or something, because everything's so much more expensive. But yeah, anyways, so if you don't want a smart meter, put a fucking sign out. And I had a sign out there, but the water, like, destroyed it. And I had just switched it out, and that's when I called the lady. So I'm really happy that I did that, because otherwise I would have a smart meter on my house right now. So yeah, while you're at work, shit's fucked up that they just do that without even saying anything. Like, they give you a notice after they do it without even asking you first. Pretty wild. But yeah, anyways, that's my story for the day.
That's interesting, because isn't the reason they put a smart meter so they don't have to come and check? They can read it from afar. So how did the guy come?
They can already, I've never had anybody come to read the meter. It's, like, all digital. Like, it's okay for it to be digital, just not smart. So the smart meter is different than them just being able to digitally, like, like, if it still has the little numbers on it that go around in a circle, then those are the old school analog ones, and those they have to come out and read. But mine is already, like, newer, to the point where it's all digitally, but it's not technically a smart meter. So it's not, it's not putting off that, the EMFs that, like, a smart meter would or whatever.
That sounds weird. So they still have to come and check it visually, even though it's a smart?
No. They were just coming to switch out my old digital meter for a smart meter. But when I called just a couple months ago, they were like, I asked them specifically, like, what neighborhoods are on the list, and she said, "Oh, Youngstown isn't on the list. Like, it might even be years before they get to it or whatever. And, we'll let you know if we're coming out and we want to switch it out. We'll call you ahead of time and let you know when we're coming." And none of that happened. I figured it wouldn't, but that's why I was like, I'm just going to put a sign on here anyways. So, I would say everyone please opt out for the safety of your family and your house, because that's honestly how I think all the fires started in Maui, was through smart meters and stuff, because everything was transferred to smart in, like, 2020. I think they had completed Maui for all of that. The gas and the electric were all switched to smart meters. So it's, like, not just the physical, like, oh, it gives off really high EMFs. You just especially don't want to, like, have your bedroom be on the wall that shit is on, but then also because they could remotely, make your house start on fire. And 10 years ago, there was dozens and dozens of lawsuits and all kinds of stuff against the smart meter rollout, because they were starting fires on people's houses and, like, burning up the side of the house. And then the people whose house it was on, they ended up having to foot the bill for it too. Like, they were actually charged money for it. Like, they weren't even covering the cost of it. And it was, like, thousands of dollars that they were having to pay out of pocket, because the smart meter is built really shitty, and water gets into the gets in there and, like, starts electrical fires randomly. And who knows how the fires even started, but it's happened enough times for me to say I'll pass on that shit.
I hear that. It's too late for us up here in Montreal. I mean, all of the houses here
Our smart meters already. Damn, you can't opt out of it, because I had one in Phoenix, and they said that they would come put in the older one, but I had to pay money. I had to pay $60 for them to come out and do it, and then $5 a month for them to read it or whatever, which is stupid, because nobody ever came and read it anyways. It was all digital. It just wasn't that, like, technically the smart meter, whatever.
Here in the Netherlands, they are mandatory. Everybody needs to get that thing. It's by law.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
In
I'm so
America.
sorry. That's
Did you guys ever see that video with the crystal? You put the crystal on the meter. I don't know if it's true or not. Somehow it's
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen little covers too that people make for it, or maybe that paint that they use with the I forget what that what the mineral is called, but actually I have some of it in my basement that I want to mix into some paint and paint my walls with it.
Lead. Lead.
Not lead. No, it's not lead. It's called I should go grab it. It's in the basement. I forget. It's got some weird name to it. It's like a powder. It's like a black crystal powder. It comes from some mineral. People put it in like the orgone or whatever those things are, those little pyramids and stuff that people make, and they put it's supposed to clear the EMF from the space or whatever. I'm gonna look it up really quick. Hold on. I forget what the name of it is.
So they didn't replace yours, Rusted?
No, they didn't. They I just had the sign and he was like I was coming out because I saw him like, in the camera, and I was like, oh hell no. So I went out there and I mean he was already walking away from it as I was walking outside, and he was like, don't worry, I saw your sign. Like he put his hands up like I was like, I saw your sign, I marked it down, I'm moving on. I'm like, oh okay, cool, like thanks.
Yeah, but Rusted, if they can read out your meter from distance from the office, you still got a smart meter.
No, that's what I looked up. So there's a difference between the digital meter and the smart meter. The digitals have been rolled out for many years already here, and some people, I don't even think anybody still has analog because unless you're like maybe on some property way far out, whatever. But from what I was reading about it, the digital meter is not the same as the EMF, and it doesn't, or not as EMF, as the smart meter. It doesn't give off the high EMFs and isn't able to be. It's like a different design. It's not catching fire. It's not like.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. If they can give it a signal, they can set the fire off. That's the point I'm making.
No, I don't think it is because you don't see all the fires were on the smart meters, not on it. They're just the regular digital ones. There is a difference. I don't think you can hack them like you can the smart ones. That's been the kind of the issue with the whole thing. I can find the stuff that I think I did a video on it like a year ago or 6 months ago too. So I could find it and send it to you. But it's from what my understanding is that like if that's the case, then and I already have one on my house, then okay, whatever. Like it is what it is. Like there's nothing I can do about it. I can't. Other than just opt out of being on the grid at all, which would be awesome. But yeah, that's not happening anytime
soon. But when they can read it out from outside of your connected to that, that's all they need.
I don't know. From what my understanding, I don't think that that's true. But I'll look into it some more. But from what I read about it, the digital meter is different than the smart meter. It's not giving off the crazy EMFs and the all the damaging stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'll look into it some more. I gotta find.
But it's the overload of the system. What they do, they're creating a short, so it doesn't have anything to do with the frequencies that thing itself is emitting. It's the frequencies that is added by that connection.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that apparently people have been able to hack the smart meters and not the digital ones, is what my understanding of it was. That's why I think it's better to just stick with the digital ones that we've all had for however many years and not upgrade to a smart one that is, so far the same meter has been on my house for, I think 20 years or something, 15 years, I don't know. And there hasn't been any crazy fires or issues or whatever. And people, from what I've heard, get the smart meter installed and whether or not it's from somebody hacking it and purposely trying to start the fire or just water getting inside of the system, because apparently people were taking it apart and showing how poorly made they are and how it leaks and water leaks inside of it. And that's some of how the fires were started. It was because of just poor construction, which, if my shit's been out there for 10 or 15 years or however long it's been out there and hasn't had issues and snow and rain and everything else, then I trust it more than I trust some new smart meter plastic piece of crap. So either way, I'm glad that he didn't have an issue with me about it. He just moved along to the next house and marked down that I opted out of it. And, so the sign actually did help me. I mean, it took a few minutes out of my day to just go print one up and put it out there. But I'm glad I did, because the lady, when I talked to her, she was like, oh, don't worry, we'll call you first and get your, your consent first. And it's like, no, they didn't call me. They didn't let me know ahead of time. The guy was just literally out there about to do it. And if I wasn't home and didn't have that, if I didn't have the sign out, because he was just walking away, he didn't even know I was home. I kind of surprised him when I came out and he was, I'm not touching it. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. So I don't know. I'm just glad that it went down like that instead of, me having to call and be pissed off that they did something without my consent, you know?
Yeah, you Americans got your meter hanging outside. We got that thing hanging inside our house.
No, it's inside. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at my gas meter.
Yep, in the middle of my apartment.
That's a trip. I'm looking at my gas meter right now, and it actually looks like the old analog smart electric meters that because one of my friends in Utah was an old linesman, and he had these old analog meters, electric meters, and they look totally different. Like I've never even seen one of those on a house because they're so old, but they have like the little, like it looks like a clock face with like, numbers around in a circle, but they must be able to read this because nobody comes to read this, my gas meter in my basement, so obviously there's got to be some digital component to it, even though it looks analog. Like there's got to be a way for them to read it without coming to my house, or maybe they just drive by and get the reading that way, like from the street or something. I have no idea, but all I know is that nobody comes in my basement to check that, and I would know if they switched this out with a smart meter. I would be like, oh no. So, but I could put a sign on this one too, I guess, even though it's in my basement. I'm looking for that
I'm not
powder.
switching that one out.
Yeah. I'm looking for that powder right now, that mineral that it's like some weird name. I'm gonna find it. Hold on.
Why are we talking about meters?
Because someone just tried to come and switch out my smart meter or give me a smart meter without my consent, and I had a sign on my meter saying that like I want to opt out, and if I didn't have the sign there, then he would have just gone ahead and done it. So just saying.
But the meters are usually their property, isn't it?
It's on my property though.
Yeah, but it's still theirs.
Yeah, but it's still on my property, and he still, because I had the sign on it, he respected that and put me as somebody who wanted to opt out of it and moved along to the next house instead of just putting it on for no reason. I mean, if you want a smart meter on your house, by all means, go ahead.
Well, I have one.
Do you sleep right next to it? Is your head right next to it? That could explain a lot, actually.
You have a phone or so?
Do I have a what?
A phone?
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
You have a cell phone?
What up, Electric?
Yeah, I'm about to buy, I'm seriously about to drop like $500 on this bell. Dude, this bell looks so sick.
Sick
I'm just gonna
bell?
have a healing bell. Yeah, I'm about to buy them to, yeah, definitely.
Like
I think that's gonna
BL?
cancel out any yeah.
We had a good conversation about the sun going, and then all of a sudden we turned into bells and freaking meters.
What are
If
you
you could
rambling on about?
with some bells, bro.
It's not rambling. You pay attention.
I can't understand the words coming out of your mouth. You said something, it was something bells and frequencies and fucking meters, and nothing what you said made any sense.
It's probably
like
paying attention.
Yeah, if the sun was vibrating at a frequency, the sun is at healing frequency clearly. Like every other frequency is just like none. But bells are good. You don't want Wi-Fi. You don't want smart meters. You don't want that. They're showing they put these like copper shapes. They're like these giant toroidal shaped copper wire, and it's like helping the plants grow really big.
The electric culture, you've been doing that?
No, I just saw a few videos of that.
So I found the mineral. It's called shugnite. Well, I don't know if this is how it's pronounced, but I call it shugnite. But it's shungite or something. Shungite is the mineral. It's supposedly widely considered for blocking and absorbing electromagnetic frequency or fields, often used for 5G protection. Blah blah blah. So that's the mineral I was thinking of, not lead. But I guess lead does it too, apparently. So.
Yeah, I want to keep that kind of stuff on me at all times. Like I want it in my pocket.
Yeah, I've heard of people like putting it in those like little pendants and stuff, and that it helps to like I think I have one next to my bed. Actually, a friend gave me. It's like a little pyramid with like copper and this stuff mixed in it, like in an epoxy sort of thing.
Isn't it funny how all the normie culture tries to mock the use of crystals and bells, but now everybody's realizing wait a second, let's actually do that stuff.
Yeah, they're like testing it and they're like, oh, we should be painting. Like now Home Depot sells a paint that has, I don't know if it has this specific mineral, but it has some sort of EMF blocking protective paint in it or like mineral in it or something. And I guess all these schools that are right next to the 5G towers are now being forced to paint in this paint to like shield the kids because the kids have been getting like weird cancers and crazy shit from being so close to the 5G towers. And I don't know why they haven't started banning the fucking AstroTurf yet, but that stupid fake grass that they've been putting everywhere causes like some crazy cancers in kids. They're like playing on it all day, especially when the sun beats down on it and then kids are tripping and falling on plastic. It's fucking awful. I've known that
I
for
often think about
10
how
years.
the new buildings that they put up, like if you're inside of them, you actually can't get 4G or LTE when you're inside of them. You don't, but you could get 5G when you're inside of it. Just basically, 5G is just bouncing around inside of these apartment buildings all day. Yeah, like the way they build these the walls now. The walls contain the frequency. It's like so you could like truly get 5G anywhere in the building. Like the way they build the buildings is to like accommodate with the Wi-Fi with the 5G towers. So like you can't get LTE inside these new buildings like hospitals, like all these new buildings that are just like super like just whatever you want to call it. There's famous.
I never heard about that. That's crazy. It would make sense. Like they could be putting Wi-Fi extenders in the walls for all we know. Like trying to make it spread out throughout the building. I don't know. That's crazy. I never thought about that. But yeah, apparently they're having to like put up shielding in the walls and paint and stuff to try to like combat the crazy massive. And I don't know why it's always out front of like schools. The fucking towers. They're like right there, like across the street or like on the same, on the same property as the schools. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're zapping everybody. They're frying everyone up. People are developing like like cancers, tumors. It's like it's definitely not because they're hitting us with random types of radiation all day. Couldn't be that.
No, those are just vitamins, just like the heavy metals they're spraying on us. It's just sky vitamins, guys. It's all good.
Sky vitamins.
Strontium C.
I gotta go get to work right now, but yeah. Anyways, Toodles Electric. Hope you have a good day, and
Yeah,
the rest
props
of you.
for stopping them from changing your meter.
Yeah, right. I was so surprised. I'm like, what? I can't believe. I was thinking it wouldn't even work too. I was like, oh, they're just gonna ignore it and be like what Elbow was saying. What's their property? They do what they want. Well, this guy stopped him, so I think he's happy because he didn't want to get sued. There's a camera right there, so I don't know. Anyways, if you don't want one, put a sign on that shit. And
What's wrong with phone companies frying your brain for no reason?
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Yeah, you don't even need towers, dude. You could have everything be underground. The reason they're doing towers is because that's where your face is. That's where your head is.
Wouldn't it be to get more range too?
You get range underground too. It doesn't matter. Well, it would certainly be a different setup, but
under
yeah,
underground.
you can get everybody can have internet and not getting their brains fried. Like, they set it up so you do get your brain fried. I wanted to say about the sun before. It's definitely worth considering that the sun is hollow, like a bubble. It's like a shell, almost like an electron, and it affects the Earth's magnetic field. So it's clearly magnetic. It's reacting to magnetism. So they would have to say that all that nuclear fusion reaction creating charged particles, that like on a quantum, like the charged particle, which is carrying electrons, which is really, the electrons are like soup where they're like jumping from atom to atom. So therefore, the magnetism that is affecting Earth's magnetic field coming from the sun is due to the charged particles. So if the atoms from the sun can cause like giant geomagnetic storms on Earth for like freaking what they're saying, it can go on for years straight. Why can't something like that be the cause for gravity? It's literally the electron on the quantum scale causing the geomagnetic storms of Earth. Apparently. But whatever. Can't have it. They can't have it. Magnetism can't be the cause of anything.
Do you know what magnetism is?
It's force.
Force of what?
It interacts with stuff.
So what? Say again?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you what magnetism is, but I can tell you what it does.
Okay, yeah, good answer.
Listening to an audiobook called Isis Unveiled, and this person is insisting that gravity is due to magnetism. I'm like, wow, it seems like there was like a real paradigm shift. Like everyone was of the same accord, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of Nazi scientists and Einstein got together and came up with space-time bending, and just like changed the whole paradigm to just move away from electric universe. And then they said, oh, like quantum mechanics and relativity don't work together. Yeah, because you moved away from electric universe. You wanted gravity instead of magnetism. It's just a different type of magnetism on the astronomical scale. It just acts slightly differently.
Well, even the pseudoscientists that are observing the cosmos, they're moving away from dark matter and all this nonsense, and they're going into electromagnetic filaments. That's the new buzzword, filaments.
Using dark photons, right?
Good one.
I think that's actually what they're saying. I think they're claiming dark photons.
And they got virtual stuff going. They got virtual this, virtual that, dark this, dark that. Everything's negligible.
And they're coming up with all crazy stuff to explain how all their predictions, which their pseudoscience is based on, is basically all wrong about their cosmology.
Yeah, they're claiming pretty crazy things with this neutrino detector. You hear what they said? They said that they can like cause quantum entanglement at any distance by like matching the spin rate and the up and down quarks of an electron. Like if you like two electrons can become entangled no matter how far apart they are in the electromagnetic field. So they said like using this technology, like they were like detecting neutrinos, right? So they accidentally caused an earthquake in New Zealand, apparently, with this thing using quantum entanglement. So they're pretty much just like teleporting bombs.
Well, yeah, they claim they caused an earthquake in New Zealand. That's all theoretical mumbo jumbo. Quantum entanglement, all that stuff is theoretical mumbo jumbo.
Maybe, I don't know. They say they can do it.
Even their boy Einstein didn't believe in quantum entanglement. Spooky action at a distance, he called it. So there's that.
Yo, I see. Keep up the good work, man. Keep telling these people what's good. And I gotta go.